We're kicking off with AEW All Out 2024, where Bryan Danielson retained his World Championship against Jack Perry, but things weren't over for the American Dragon. After the match, Christian Cage and the Patriarchy arrived, with Cage poised to cash in his world title opportunity, but the Blackpool Combat Club and Pac fended them off. As the heels left though, Castagnoli delivered an uppercut to Danielson, and Moxley put a plastic bag over Bryan's head, while Pac stopped Wheeler Yuta from saving his friend. Marina Shafir, who is aligned with Moxley, was in the ring, and the fans chanted, "This is murder," as Bryan was left laying lifeless in the ring. This was a shocking end to the BCC as we knew it, and what did you think of this segment? Did it go too far with the suffocation spot? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. In their deeply personal feud, MJF and Daniel Garcia held nothing back in the Now Arena, with Garcia being busted open during the match to the delight of the scumbag. Despite this, Garcia had an answer to everything the former world champion had for him, and responded to MJF's chops with a series of elbows, only stopping thanks to a thumb to the eye. Garcia once more rallied with a powerful clothesline, and the two traded submissions, including a crossface and a sharpshooter, but neither was able to get the other to quit. The finish of the match saw MJF block a top rope pile driver and hit a low blow to score a roll-up, and this was a fun grudge match that made both men look like tough fighters. Garcia is a certified fan favorite now, and MJF is the perfect foil, and this was a great choice to open the main card, even if the finish left a sour taste in a lot of mouths. MJF offered a handshake, but Garcia saw his ruse coming as he kicked Friedman below the belt, spit in his face, and hit a corner pile driver to the man who tried to end his career. It was at All Out 2022 that AEW would see arguably its biggest controversy, as a backstage fight led to top talent being suspended and forever reshaped CM Punk's role with the company. AEW for the most part has done what it can to move on from that controversy, but an incident during last night's show had fans believing that another backstage incident had occurred. On social media, a fan at All Out 2024 reported seeing security sprint backstage during the show, sparking speculation of another backstage problem at the pay-per-view. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful later confirmed that he had heard reports of security being called to the backstage area, but at that time, no further details about the situation had surfaced. In an update, Fightful Select reported that there was no incident that led to security running backstage during the show, and said the guards returned to their spots by the end of the night. In a tweet, Ty Mello commented on the rumors of a backstage incident and said that her husband Sammy Guevara was not involved in a fight, and said people should enjoy the show. Reports of a backstage fight have been greatly exaggerated, but we still don't know why exactly security headed to the back, and we'll continue to monitor this situation for updates. In 2022, MVP was paired with Omos, and despite a strong push early into his career on the main roster, it's been a very long time since we've seen anything of note from the Nigerian giant. Speaking during a KNS WrestleFest virtual signing, MVP recalled being told of plans to partner him with Omos, a move that ended his time with Bobby Lashley. Vince McMahon informed MVP and Lashley of the decision, saying he wanted MVP to do with Omos what MVP had done to revitalize the career of the Almighty. MVP wasn't thrilled by the idea but agreed to McMahon's request and praised Omos for his dedication to learning and improving in the ring. MVP also recalled speaking to Triple H about how Omos was being booked, and the game made clear that he didn't want Omos to be seen as like another giant of the wrestling world. He said, "I had talked to Triple H about how he was being used, and Triple H was adamant that he didn't want him to be another big show. He didn't want him on TV every week. He wanted him to be an attraction. He just wanted to break him out periodically to be an attraction. So I don't know what his status is now. I don't know what they plan on doing with him, but I think if you can't, a legitimate 7'3", he was 400 pounds. I think the last time I talked to him, he's like 385. His physique is changing. He's getting in better shape. If you can't make money with a 7'3", 385-pound basketball player that can move, you don't see him move a lot because they don't want him to, but when he wants to move, you'd be surprised how well that big man can move. If you can't make money with that, then you're just an idiot." MVP wrapped up his time with WWE earlier this year, and the fact that his partnership with Omos ended without any fanfare or a reason doesn't bode well for the giant wrestler. But what do you think? Did MVP improve Omos? And what do you make of Triple H's comments about Omos being an attraction? Let us know down in the comments. More from All Out as Pac challenged Will Ospreay for the international title, and given the talent involved, it was no surprise the fans were wild before they even locked up. This anticipated encounter started with a side headlock takeover, but the pace rapidly picked up, which was to the surprise of nobody given that Pac and Ospreay are two of AEW's best flyers. Pac looked more precise and smooth than he has in a long time, and Ospreay is still at the top of his game, and this is a feud AEW could go back anytime, and fans will be excited. Even with fans wanting plenty of flips and action, the two managed to pace themselves and tell a story instead of just packing as many high spots into it as they could. Controlling the pace, these two put on an instant classic that no recap will do justice, and if you didn't see it live, we highly recommend going out of your way to watch this. Both men made the crowd think the match was over several times, but it was Ospreay who sealed the win with the hidden blade, and was he the right winner? Let us know down below. In a Chicago street fight, Willow, Nightingale, and Kris Statlander looked to settle their feud for good, and Stokely Hathaway arrived with a chair for Statlander to use. It took them less than 2 minutes before weapons played a part, as Willow was powerbombed through an announce table to put Statlander in control for quite some time. After the Pac Ospreay show stealer, these women knew they had to deliver with a different kind of match that saw tables, hockey sticks, chains, and light tubes used to inflict damage. Both competitors left it all in the ring, including some blood, and this was a match that lived up to its potential before Statlander got the win by using a chain to apply a submission. Earlier this year, Rhea Ripley used a stink face on Nia Jax that went viral, and while many loved the spot, there were some critics who felt it was a step in the wrong direction for the women. Becky Lynch called out the spot, feeling it was once again demeaning women to just being about sex appeal rather than in-ring talent, and now Ripley has weighed in. Speaking to Ring the Bell, Ripley called out what she sees as a double standard and argued that if Tiffany Stratton does something with sex appeal, the fans are all over it. Responding to her haters, Ripley declared, "You're just mad that I'm popular," and spoke of being criticized for every single little thing that I do. Ultimately, Ripley has proven to be popular with countless fans, and what did you think of her stink face? A fun spot or tacky titillation of women's wrestling? Give your thoughts down below. With the AEW Continental Championship on the line, the odds were against Kazuchika Okada as he defended against Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, and Konosuke Takeshita. This match felt like it was designed to set up a singles bout between Okada and Takeshita down the line, which is probably the best move AEW could make with both men. All three challengers came close to winning before Okada hit a Rainmaker on Cassidy to get the pin in an enjoyable sprint from start to finish. At NJPW Resurgence in May 2023, Mercedes Moné competed in a one-night tournament to crown the inaugural Strong Women's Champion. In the final match, Moné faced off against Willow Nightingale and was on track to win the title. However, things took a turn when Moné slipped from the top turnbuckle and injured her heel. Following the accident, the match quickly ended, with Nightingale pulling off a surprise victory over Moné. It was widely believed that the match's outcome was altered on the spot, and Moné has since confirmed that she made the call to lose the bout. While speaking during an appearance on the Junkies on 106.7, Moné explained that years of practice and training prepare wrestlers for bumps and risks in the ring, but injuries can still happen unexpectedly. Moné explained that she had been set to win the NJPW Strong Women's title, but due to the severity of her injury, she instructed Nightingale to win instead since she was unable to stand. She said, "Just the many years of practicing and training in the ring, you're prepared to take all these bumps safely and effortlessly. Sometimes the moves really hurt and you can get injured, and sometimes you don't know who's going to win. When I broke my heel last year, I was supposed to win this championship, the NJPW Strong Women's title, but I was too injured that I just told the girl, I'm like, you're gonna have to win this title, because I couldn't even stand up. So you never know what's gonna happen in wrestling, and I think that's what's the funniest part. It's like, yes, it's live, yes, it's predetermined, but you have no idea what's gonna happen." Mercedes received praise for her efforts in taking the match to its conclusion. Mercedes Moné faced her biggest challenge as TBS champion at All Out when she took on Hikaru Shida, all while Camille was banned from ringside. Moné tried to take control early but found herself on defense as Shida delivered a series of stiff strikes, including a low dropkick that almost knocked the champ out of the ring. After 3 chaotic matches back-to-back, it was nice to get a standard singles bout and helped reset the pace of the show before the final 2 matches. Dueling chants broke out as the 2 women began unleashing strikes, and while it was Shida who won that exchange, the match wouldn't go her way in the end. Shida almost got herself disqualified with a kendo stick but decided not to. The momentary lapse allowed Moné to pounce and hit a moneymaker for the win. This was a great match that left lots of room to grow in future encounters as both women continue to prove their worth to AEW. And in the World Tag Title match, Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta attempted to dethrone the Young Bucks, but the EVPs got a surprisingly clean win. And that was AEW All Out 2024, and what did you think of the show? Let us know in the comments, and thanks for watching.